I thought Shiva was pretty straight, pretty simple. But I find for people he's pretty complex as well. One line from the Shiva Mahimna Stotram highlights that very well. Mangala Swarupaha, but Amangalyam Sheelam. Mangala Swarupa, nothing but auspiciousness and goodness. But his Vyavahara, Amangalyam. Shivaganas loves the cremation ground. A beautiful idea actually of the real holding all dualities in within himself. The dualities are appearances, the reality is one. So this reality, that is Shiva, is invoked by different people in different ways. Since we just completed yoga, let me start with that. For the yogis, he is Adi Yogi. That's it. The source of all yoga. Yeah. So they don't want. It's a tendency not to want to look at any other aspects. Tends to become a little unidimensional. For the Tantrikas, wow, he is Mahakalaha, the devourer of time, the great destruction, the one who is beyond time. With his consort of Mahakali, or very often worshipped as Smashana Tara, the jewel of the cremation ground, the star of the cremation ground. So, lot of that goes like that. Also as Aghori, the Tantrikas again, though the Veda presents him as Ghora, Aghora, Tarebhyaha Namaha, one who is beyond both Ghora and Aghora. For the dancer, he is Nataraja, Natanam Raja, Nataraja, which in a limited way they take it as the Lord of Dance. I have talked about what Nata etc. is last year, so I am not going to bore you with the same this year. Of course, for the Vedantins, the seekers of knowledge, he is Adi Guru, Dakshinamurti himself. Simple meaning, Dakshina Abhimukhi Murti. The Murti, the form that is looking at the south. Because we are all in the south of the Meru, south of Kailasa, therefore in samsara, and he is in the north, therefore his face is turned towards us and we are looking northwards for liberation, for moksha. Generally Shivratri is the day, Mahashivratri is the day for sannyasa as well. Very interesting. Shiva is invoked, and since you are after moksha, you drop all that you are wearing in the Ganga, everything. Without a stitch on you, you are supposed to walk northwards, and the Guru calls you back and gives you your first pair of clothes. Of course, good chance. If you want to get rid of the student, don't call him back. Let him keep walking. There are cases where it has happened, yeah. So look at that. The real meaning of Dakshinamurti would be a little bit different. Dakshinascha Amurtascha. One who is Dakshinaha. Dakshinaha meaning Samartyaha. Samartha. One who is capable. Capable of what? Janma Sthiti Bhangaha. Asya Jagataha Janma Sthiti Bhangaha. The one who is capable of creating, sustaining and resolving the universe. and himself amurtascha, free from all forms. Amurtascha. Or in the Dhyana slokas of the Dakshinamurti Stotram itself, it is mentioned Janma Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami. The sorrow of samsara, one who can negate. He is the Dakshaha, some capable of negating samsara dukkha for all the seekers. For the Sankhyans, he becomes Shiva and Shakti. Sankhyans, Devi Upasakas, Srividya Upasakas, etc. He is all Shiva and Shakti together. So, how many ways are you going to inform him? Oh, lest I forget, for the martial artists, well, in the Kalari, the Kshetra of Kalari, generally what is invoked is Parashurama. Because Parashurama was the first teacher of Kalari. But Parashurama was Shiva's student. Shiva was Parashurama Guru. Parashurama himself learned from Shiva. Why? Because even teachers have teachers. Gurus have gurus. Okay. Therefore, Shiva is the source. Through Nata, he is the source of all that. So, multi-dimensional. Music, there is no one like Shiva. Forget dance alone, even music. There is a story of Narada once finding lot of injured devatas lying down. She asked them, who are you all? Why are you lying here injured? He says, we are all the devatas of all the ragas. Many people sing us wrongly. And therefore we are lying here injured. He says, what can I do to help you all? He says, get Shiva to sing all the ragas. That will heal us. So musicians also invoke Lord Shiva. And now we call it a Shiva. Really, and Shivaratri, Mahashivaratri, etc. Really speaking, Shiva is presented as Ishvara. Nothing but Ishvara himself. During the Vedic times, the worship of Ishvara was through homas and yagas. And of course, meditations, upasana, etc. Passage of time, temples, etc. started coming up. So the first form that was invoked was the linga. There are various stories about it. Okay, there's not enough time for me to go into every story of how the linga manifested, etc. But if you look at that, okay, take all forms and put it together. All forms. What will you get? Yeah, oval form, because they are putting everything together. Round, you have to shape it. You get a form which doesn't really have a form. That is supposed to be the linga, the pure consciousness. But it manifests through Maya Shakti. Therefore, the Shakti is represented by the Pita or the Yoni. In fact, if you look at the linga that is worshipped today, you will find the only half of the linga you will see. The other half is buried under the Pita. Half is seen, half is buried into the Pita. Why? You will never see the whole form of Ishvara. It's shrouded, it's covered or hidden by the Pita, that is Maya. That is why in most Shiva temples, you don't need a separate murti, a separate form for Parvati. You don't see a separate form for Shiva also. If the linga is established, it's good enough. The linga is the pure consciousness Shiva, and Shakti, Parvati, is the Pitha, the yoni. Both together, Shiva, Shakti, Ishvara is manifest. Therefore, all that is there is what? Ishvara. All forms. The source of all forms, the resolving point of all forms. Himself doing nothing, but through Maya everything happens. Apanipadam, Sarvata Panipadam also, both ways. Free from all forms, and all the forms are his forms. So this is Shiva. The form you worship, so that you have enough bhakti in your heart. And with that bhakti, you gain the adhikaritvam, the qualification necessary to study. So you can understand Shiva in his Swarupa and see what Shiva really is. And when you understand Shiva in his Swarupa, you will find you are non different from him. I think that is 10 minutes. Okay, roughly. More, 11 minutes. Okay, good enough, because we have to go forward. There is a lot more coming. So, Om Tat Sat.